Okay, let's jump into this. The whole idea of domination in college football, it's pretty captivating, right?
It really is. And Coach Prime's vision for Colorado in 2025, it's definitely ambitious. It's not just winning, it's reshaping the Big 12.
Exactly. And we've got this document here, the Blueprint for Domination, what Coach Prime must do to conquer the Big 12 in 2025.
Quite a title.
It is. So today, we want to really get under the hood. What are the key pieces that have to fall into place for this to actually happen?
Right. Because the ambition is clear. This isn't about gradual improvement. It's a direct shot at becoming a powerhouse and fast.
So we'll look at recruiting, the offense, conditioning, which is maybe less flashy, but sounds crucial here, defense, mindset, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, the blueprint lays out some very specific, almost, audacious targets. It's worth breaking down each part.
Okay, let's kick things off with recruiting. The blueprint calls it relentless depth at every position, and they really mean relentless.
Yeah, it's not just having backups. It's talking about a true two-deep roster where the second string could probably start for a lot of other teams.
And the specifics are kind of wild. 6 NFL-level pass catchers. The goal being 3 guys hitting 100 yards receiving every week.
And then at least 3 feature running backs, each capable of popping 100-plus yards any given game.
That's a ton of talent to manage in just a couple of position groups.
It really is. I mean, identifying the talent is one thing, but keeping everyone happy, getting them enough touches, that's a whole other challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, you wonder about locker room dynamics there.
Exactly. And the blueprint mentions hitting the transfer portal, hard elite freshmen, Power 5 transfers, JUCO guys, like an all-out assault to build that depth fast.
They actually call depth a weapon for hitting those 50-plus point wins.
Yeah.
Like, you can just keep coming at teams in waves.
Sustained performance, covering injuries. It makes sense strategically if you can pull it off.
Okay, so that depth feeds into this ruthlessly aggressive offensive system designed to, and I quote, score in minutes, not quarters.
Forget grinding it out. Yeah, this sounds like foot on the gas all the time.
Up-tempo pace, snapping the ball every 12 to 15 seconds. That's fast.
Very fast. And then throwing in all sorts of formations, motions, stacks, spread, quads. It's about creating chaos for the defense, right? Finding mismatches.
And a vertical attack.
Yeah.
Deep options on basically every receiver route. Plus multi-back sets and giving Shadoware Sanders full freedom to audible into deep shots whenever he sees it.
Big leads start with big strikes early. That seems to be the philosophy. Constant threat downfield.
I mean, you can see how that offensive style demands incredible conditioning, can't you?
Yeah.
You can't run that pace if you're dead tired by the second quarter.
Absolutely not. And the blueprint tackles that head on. They want to be a tsunami for 4 quarters. No fading after halftime.
So how do they plan to achieve that?
Well, it mentions fourth quarter sprints in practice, specific heat and altitude training, which they have naturally in Boulder, and a huge focus on recovery.
Like what?
Nutritionists, sleep specialists, cold tubs, the works. They use this phrase, overtrained, but not overworked.
Okay, what does that mean exactly?
It's like pushing limits in practice, mimicking game intensity, getting the body used to that strain, but crucially, building in the recovery so players don't actually break down or get injured from just being run into the ground. Max output, smart recovery.
A fine line for sure. All right, let's shift to the defense. This is interesting because the goal isn't just stopping the other team.
No, it's about getting the ball back to their own offense. Fast.
Yeah, the focus is heavily on takeaways, strip drills, pick-six drills mentioned specifically, and forcing 3-and-outs with aggressive blitz packages.
Get the ball back, preferably with good field position, or even score themselves.
And they emphasize speed over size for the defense, like loading up with track star types who can just fly around and force mistakes.
Swarm and disrupt. Fast stops and scoring stops. That's the defensive motto, according to this.
You can really see how the offense and defense are designed to feed off each other, can't you?
Oh, definitely. It's deliberate. Quick defensive stops or turnovers mean more possessions and shorter fields for that explosive offense. It all aims towards those big point totals.
Got a high-risk, high-reward style on both sides, feels like. It needs incredible athletes and execution.
No doubt. Precision is key.
Okay, moving on. Mindset. This seems huge for Coach Prime.
Yeah.
The blueprint talks about demanding a ruthless killer instinct, a zero-mercy mindset.
Yeah, this is about the culture. It says when you're up big, you step harder, you don't ease off.
There's a line in here, blowouts are not disrespect, they're destiny. That's a statement.
It is. It's about embedding this relentless intensity, right?
Yeah.
No complacency allowed anywhere.
And it applies to everyone. Starters treat every rep like an NFL tryout. backups see garbage time as their Super Bowl,
Mhm.
that kind of thing.
That focus has to permeate the whole roster the whole week, not just on Saturdays.
And that intensity connects to game management, mastering the clock and the flow of the game.
Right. Even when winning big, they stress first half knockouts, break the opponent's will early.
Practicing 2-minute drills constantly, both before halftime and at the end of games, just to squeeze out extra points.
And situational excellence, like
Yeah.
always aiming for touchdowns in the red zone, not settling for field goals, attacking deep even on, say, third and short sometimes.
It's called smart aggression, knowing when and how to keep the pressure on.
Yeah, it's about not getting conservative just because you have a lead.
Yeah.
Dominant teams keep dictating the terms. That requires sharp focus and prep.
Okay, and this relentless approach extends everywhere, including special teams. They can't just be okay, they need to be lethal.
Not just functional, yeah. They have to actively contribute to those 50-point games.
Needs a true game breaker. On returns, they mentioned Travis Hunter as the kind of player you'd want there. Aggressive punt blocks to steal possessions.
And expecting field goals to be almost automatic from inside 55 yards. That's a high bar.
The goal is for special teams to literally create points, not just prevent them.
It just shows how they're looking at every single facet of the game as a way to build that dominance. No stone unturned.
Which, of course, brings us to the trenches. You can't do any of this consistently without winning up front, right?
Absolutely fundamental.
Yeah.
The blueprint is clear. Football is won at the line of scrimmage. You win there ugly, so the skill guys can win pretty.
So for the O-line, it's about being able to blow people off the ball on short yardage, but also giving Shadow or Sanders that clean pocket, 4+ seconds to throw deep.
That's a long time in football. That requires serious protection.
And the D-line needs to create havoc with 4-man rushes alone.
Meaning you don't always have to blitz extra guys to get pressure, which frees up your linebackers and secondary to make plays. Disrupt the pocket with just your front four.
Championship swagger starts with trench toughness. Hard to argue with that.
It's the bedrock. If you control the line, you generally control the game.
Okay, now this next one is pure Coach Prime territory. Psychological warfare.
Ah, yes, winning the game before the game even starts.
Building that deep mental edge. Using the media strategically, maybe, to put pressure on opponents.
Yeah.
And having this respectful swagger.
It's about belief. Instilling total confidence in your own squad while maybe planting seeds of doubt in the opposition. Never disrespecting individuals, the blueprint says, but making your team's destiny feel inevitable.
A goal. Opponents step into Folsom Field already feeling like they've already lost.
It's about leveraging those intangible factors. Coach Prime's personality is obviously a big part of that potential edge.
And finally, it all comes back to the top. Coach Prime himself, he has to lead by example.
Yeah, holding himself and the staff to those same relentless standards. No complacency from assistants, no sloppy film study, no cutting corners anywhere.
The idea being the players will follow his lead. So his energy, his focus, his commitment has to be even higher in 2025.
If Prime is all in, his team will be all in. That sums it up, doesn't it? The leadership has to embody the standard.
It sets the tone for everything else.
Exactly. That's how you build the environment for this whole ambitious plan to potentially work.
So that's the overview. 10 pillars for this blueprint for domination. Relentless recruiting, ruthless offense, elite conditioning, takeaway defense, killer instinct, smart game management, lethal special teams, trench warfare, psych warfare, and top-down leadership.
It's comprehensive and interconnected. Each piece seems to rely on the others functioning at a high level.
And those goals attached to it, 50-point wins consistently, 300-yard receivers weekly, 100-yard rushers. It's incredibly audacious stuff.
A level of dominance you just don't see very often, especially achieved quickly. It's a holistic vision.
It truly is.
Yeah.
So, thinking about all this, for you listening,
Yeah.
what do you think is the absolute most critical piece for Coach Prime to nail? If they want to actually reach this level of dominance in 2025, what's the one thing that has to work above all else?
Is it getting all that talent fast enough?
No.
Making that offense click instantly? Instilling that unwavering mindset? Or maybe just controlling the line of scrimmage like they plan?
Lots to think about. It's clear it'll take a monumental effort on all fronts. And if they pull it off, wow, the ripple effects across college football would be something else.
Definitely something to watch.
Well, thanks for digging into this ambitious blueprint with us on this deep dive.